my name is Cody Ballard, and I'm a member of the Hondo Auto program. This video is for my 106 electrical course. In this video, you'll learn 3 things. 1. How to locate a battery. 2. How to remove a battery safely. And 3. How to perform a simple voltage test. To complete this video and a tutorial, there are a couple things you'll need. First, a pair of safety glasses. Safety first. Second, it's recommended that you have a good pair of sturdy work gloves. 3, you're going to want a voltage tester. And last but not least, a simple wrench set in order to deal with the bolts that you'll be working with. To begin, we must first locate the battery. The first step in locating the battery is to open the hood. To open the hood, we will have to enter the driver's side door and locate the latch to release the hood. Most vehicles you'll be working with, when I'm looking to open the hood, will have a latch such as this with a symbol like this with the hood open somewhere around a passenger or driver's side door. In this case, the latch will be on the driver's side door located underneath the steering wheel. To release, pull, and there you go. Once the lever is pulled, you will notice that upon returning to your hood, when pulled up, a releasing will form, and you will notice that there is a trigger here. We will need to lift up on that while simultaneously lifting up on the hood to open it. Opening the hood, it's important to identify the support beam that will be used to hold up your hood while working in it. With the hood open, we can now see the internal components of the engine. Here you'll see multiple components in addition to the engine. We're looking for the battery. Most will be in a somewhat square to rectangular form, and you'll see 2 leads leading towards it. This will be your battery. To remove it, there will typically be some form of retention bar secured by bolts. In addition to that, there will typically be bolts holding on to your connections. On a battery, there are always 2 connections. What's typically called the negative, or more properly known as the ground, and your positive, which actually is properly named as your positive lead. You'll have to remove both the retention bars and the retaining bolts in order to remove this battery. To begin removing the battery, the first thing we're going to do is use a wrench to remove these pieces. Depending on the make and model of your vehicle, the size required to do this may vary. For this vehicle, the size we need is a 10mm wrench. So to begin to remove it, you want to twist if it's tight and then begin turning to release the bolt. With the retention bolts safely removed, It's now time to remove or loosen the bolts holding the connections. With all the connections and retentions removed from the battery, you may now lift to remove the battery from its port. There is, however, one case where you will not want to mess with, touch, or remove a battery, and that will be when dealing with high voltage batteries. To identify a high voltage battery, there are a number of things you can do. First is to locate the warning that clearly states high voltage. Kind of a no-brainer, but sometimes people don't read. The second thing is to look for these orange connections. The reason for the orange is it's the industry standard for high voltage connections. What is high voltage? It means that the circuit flowing through there is high enough to kill you. If you see or your car has a high voltage battery, it's advisable that you do not mess with it and take it to a properly certified dealership. Now back to our main video. With the battery safely removed, we can now voltage test it to identify the current state of the battery. To do this, we need a voltage tester. To use a voltage tester, you will want to have it set to DC and in the range that we will be dealing with. Most batteries used in automotive are 12 volts, so the 20 volt range will be suffice. You'll notice there are two cables, a black and a red. The black cable is our ground lead and will be connected to the ground on the battery. Our red lead is the positive lead and will be connected to the positive lead of the battery. To begin the voltage test, you'll want to turn your voltage meter on and ensure that the voltage is reading 0. With the voltmeter in place, it's now time to test the battery. Test the battery. The negative lead, the black lead, will connect to the ground of the battery. For the purpose of this, it will be placed here. I'll hold it up in place since I only have one hand. The next portion will be to attach the positive lead to the positive side of the battery. Again, this is done simply because I lack the hands to hold them down. After both connections are made, it's now time to read the voltage reading. For automotive batteries, the ideal voltage is 12.6. As you can tell from its reading of 0.82, 83-ish, this battery is what is known as discharged, meaning that this battery does not have the power in it to turn on or run the vehicle. It also means that this battery is probably at the end of its life cycle and will have to be replaced at an auto dealership. Next, I will show you an example of what a better quality battery and the voltage reading on that. On this other vehicle, we are now test the voltage rating on this one. This battery currently is in a running vehicle, so hopefully the voltage will be a bit closer to what we're looking for. Just as with last time, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect the ground, making contact. And now repeat the step with the positive. This time you notice something slightly different. This time the voltage reading is reading at 12.4443. Considering that this vehicle is running, we can tell from this reading the vehicle has the voltage to turn on. It should be kept in mind, however, that a voltage reading of 12.4, such as the one on this, is also a good indication that it's almost time to change the battery on this one as well. However, unlike the other one, this battery has not become fully depleted. Now that we've tested the battery, it's now time to properly return the battery to the vehicle. To do so, carefully place the battery back onto the panel in which it was originally removed. Second step will be to carefully reattach the cable connections. Now that the cable connections have been safely attached, it's now time to restore the retention bar. With the retaining bar properly in place, the battery has now been restored to the vehicle. To finish off this tutorial, we now simply have to close the hood, and that'll be it. Thank you for watching the video, and yeah, that's about it.